Ouroboros, the king of the casual build. A few days ago, I put out a video for solo, casual Ouroboros builds. Response was pretty good. However, after having a conversation with good old Rousey, who left me a interesting comment, bastard. He's basically of the opinion that a casual build is the same as a meta build, you just put blue cores on it. That's basically the difference. So I went out of my way to make a build. It's a pretty simple build. There's not really much to it. It's just 4-piece strikers, Picaro's holster and Catharsis mask, all rolled to blue. However, I did this for the specific purpose of, one, being a fun, interesting and casual build that maybe people would like to enjoy if they haven't already. It also gives Catharsis a pretty solid place within the PvE usage, as well as it basically is on par with a full red standard Elmo's build. Yeah, I said it, okay? That is how strong Ouroboros is. So if we then just compare the weapons, like nothing else, not the build, just the weapons, and because they're exotics, they have built-in mod attachments that we can't change. So we're going to take the mods into account, as well as ourselves at SHD 1000 and everything that involves, we get this for a calculation. It's pretty simple, it's pretty easy. We're not even including specializations. But as you can see, literally just at base, Ouroboros is doing 35% more. Like, not even trying to be funny here. 35% more in terms of DPS. It's ridiculous. Then there's going to be those that are like, oh, but Elmo's has a 70 round mag and blah blah blah. So the sustained DPS has to be higher, right? Nope. Oreo still wins by 20%, which is pretty damn nutty, even if obviously we're just comparing the base weapons. Builds here are going to have a certain effect depending on how you build and what you want to build. In short though, as long as you keep the builds pretty much identical, you can have like a 5 or 10% leeway each way. Ouroboros is always going to be Elmo. Always. It's kind of ridiculous. However, this is the notion I ran with to make this build, which is, like I said, 4-piece strikers, Picaro's holster and Catharsis. Everything is rolled to crit damage and we're just using 3 crit chance mods. However, you can mix and match that how you want. It gives us a total of 59% crit chance and 115% critical hit damage. And Catharsis here actually fits quite nicely. Obviously, you can get more DPS out of using something along the lines of Coyotes, but I kind of really wanted to go with a 6 blue, simply just because I found it really funny that when we compare this build to this build, you know, just your standard 4-piece strikers, Cheska Obliterate with a Coyote's mask. If we just, I don't know, just put this into a damage equation, yeah, again, pretty simple, and Ouroboros is still winning. Admittedly, most of this is coming from the fact that we have 200 stacks on strikers, but still, a 6 blue build is beating a 6 red build. And if you're going to go sustained, well, you're putting an awful lot of pressure on that measly 10% that Elmo's just magically gets out of nowhere, despite the fact that it's over 10% less in burst DPS. So the end result is Ouroboros with a 6 blue can outperform Elmo on a 6 red. Yeah, Ouroboros is the king of casual. Like, honestly, if you are a more casual player, the only thing I could suggest to you is just take the dive for a bit, a little bit, take the dive, get yourself a meta build, get yourself into Incursion, get Ouroboros, and then go back and you have the king of casual. Because Ouroboros is dumb. Really dumb. Anyway, let's actually talk about the build. Like I said, it is pretty simple. 4-piece strikers using the chest and the backpack, Catharsis mask with a crit chance mod. Chest and backpack have crit chance mods as well. They're rolled to crit damage with a blue core. Add in Picaro's holster. We essentially have another blue core and a weapon core. Due to the fluctuations in Catharsis, it's kind of hard to equate. However, on average, because it's obviously a total of 30%, it stacks up. I've averaged it out to be about another 15%. However, depending on how well you manage this and how well you can push this, it can be as low as a total of 25% all weapon damage, or a grand total of 55% all weapon damage. Catharsis Mask is actually incredibly powerful. It's just a shame it comes with the role it is. If it didn't have those roles, it would probably be the most powerful mask in the game, even if it operated in the exact same manner. It's quite strange how Catharsis actually does equate. But I've gone for the Catharsis here simply because of where we are at 6 blue, which obviously does to equate to our shield as well. We're pretty tanky. Adding in Gunner with the armor regen with Catharsis does actually give us some impressive armor regen. It's not kind of always there when you want it, but due to the fact that even on Heroic, I don't have any directives this time, but as you can see, even on Heroic, we're able to chew through enemies pretty damn quickly. So if you are going to use this build, I would recommend solo only. However, it is very comfortable. It's not the fastest, but it's pretty easy, it's pretty cheesy, and it absolutely does get the job done. It is heavily reliant on those striker stacks. Heavily. Without those striker stacks, you basically have nothing, which is kind of a shame. So you really kind of do need to sort of be on top of your play and really pushing the enemy. 1, you need the Catharsis stacks to actually really get some good damage out. 2, you also, like I said, need those striker stacks. And that's basically the overall mechanic of the game. Just get hit and keep hitting. This is why we're also utilizing the shield. Now, some of you might have noticed that for the past at least the 2 casual videos that I have done, I've tried to express and impress upon you that solo only. And I can't really describe it at the moment, but obviously when you're in multiplayer, things scale up. I am planning on doing this just to highlight the issue, but it's obviously going to be that although in solo this works well, I plan on doing a video where I'm going to be utilizing this exact same build, and I'm going to be playing on Heroic with a group of 4, and then we're going to do it again, but we're going to go to Legendary. And during both of these plays, my team are going to strategically, at a point unknown to me, like I am not allowed to know, they're going to go down, and we're going to go and see how well this casual build works in group play, both in Heroic as well as Legendary. Hopefully, because to be perfectly honest, I've never really played a casual build in group, especially Legendary, but hopefully it will highlight the difference and prove the point I've been making all this time, that if you are going to play in group, meta is probably the way to go. If you're playing solo, or at least if your group is agreeing, like they're friends of yours and you're all going to just go uber casual, fine, but hopefully we will see the difference. Anyway, back to the video at hand, and now we're just going to look at the damage. So I've tried to get Catharsis as high as possible with the stack mechanic, and we're just going to get strikers to maximum stacks. So at body shots we're hitting about 500k, for headshots we're getting about 600 to 700k, roughly about 695k, and then we're going to look at the regen from just the armor on kill as well as Catharsis having proc. So after 1 kill we're basically near enough at just over half armor, and after like 2 or 3 kills we're mostly full. The target is on named elite, so we do have some pretty good damage. Have fun, good luck, don't die. It's bad for the health.